Alrighty, guys, we're gonna go ahead and get started here. Let's see. Okay, I don't think anyone has joined yet, so if somebody joins, I'll acknowledge them, obviously. But just wanted to introduce us to what are we on now? Week 4 or 5, something like that. And just kind of what we'll be doing this week. So we are past module 2. We did all of our assignments for module 2 last week. That was no extra like ed puzzles or anything, but we did have our project 1 outline, our uh, color discussion, and our quiz 2. So this week is full of new ed puzzles, and we're also jumping to module 3. So let's take a look at that, or we'll look at our course info first, just to kind of see what we're looking at this week exactly. So we are on week 5. That's the right one. And we are completing ed puzzles 6 and 7. We are doing the lesson 6 time and motion assignment, and we're also taking quiz 3. So this is a pretty jam-packed week this week. We're kind of speeding up a little bit. The first few weeks are always a little bit slow, but we're at a point now where we're kind of having, at least more than one lesson a week, and usually an assignment that will accompany that as well, at least. So let's jump on back and go to module 3. So module 3, we covered last week the elements of design, and those are like, our line, our shape, our color, all of that. And I kind of think of those, and I talked about it in the ed puzzle as well, as being like ingredients almost to artwork. And then lesson 6 and 7 goes over our principles of design, and those are like our recipes. So, you can have a bunch of ingredients, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to make a great cake or a great, meal all the time. You have to know how to use the ingredients in order to make something that tastes good. So I think about that with like the elements and principles. Elements are like all artwork has that, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's good artwork. So whether it's your, 2-year-old nephew or, Leonardo da Vinci, they're all going to use the elements of art. But it takes someone who is an artisan or a, professional that knows how to use the principles of design to organize those and to make something that is successful. So that's what we'll be going over this week. And then we're also talking about time and motion as well in lesson 6. I kind of think about time and motion as being one of those like in between almost the elements and principles. So it's almost like a little bridge that gets those two together. It's also kind of a harder element to talk about than the other ones. It's something that you can't like physically see all of the time, but you do have to like imply knowledge about it. So we'll cover those in the ed puzzles once you get to those. And remember, those are due this week. We also have our time and motion assignment that I'll go over in just a moment, and our quiz 3. So let's click into the module and talk about that. So the lesson 6 time and motion assignment, this is focusing on an artist. His name is Rafiq Anadols. And he is a really interesting guy to hear talk about how he uses motion and time in his artwork. I'm not sure why this video is so small. Hopefully that's like doesn't look like that for you guys, but I'll investigate that once we get off here. So the TED Talk is just talking about how his work is it works, what it's about, kind of just getting into it like that. And then he also talks about his piece Interconnected that's at the Charlotte airport. So I'm not sure what exactly wing it's on. I feel like I've seen it before in the airport, but it's really interesting just to see how that works. And if you've ever been to the airport and you've seen this, you might have, just walked by it and not realized it was there. So after you watch these 2 videos, here's the Interconnected one. And then this one here that's looking kind of weird. I don't know what's going on there. I'll fix that. But make sure you watch both videos because you will not be able to answer all of the parts without them. Task 2 is to write a 400 minimum word analysis of his work, answering the questions in the following format. Describe Rafiq Anadol's process for creating his media artworks by answering the following questions. So, just take those one by one. I would prefer, actually, it's in kind of required that you not like list these out. Make sure that you are doing like an essay format. So you're not just like saying, you're not answering these like in a list format. You're making it cohesive. But it just talks about his work, what is going, what goes into it, and that's all you really need to do for this one. Remember to write your responses in paragraph form, and then a minimum word count of 400. And this is a direct submission assignment, so there's no comments or anything that you have to do. You don't have to reply to anybody. I do want you to make sure that you are not adding your writing as a comment, like I've said before. And I'm just going to show us this just for the sake of it, in case you've missed the other videos, how to do that. So, yeah, I don't know what's going on with it. Maybe you guys can see that. It should look like this when you look at the assignment, where you can just click on the videos one by one. But yeah, so we've got our options here. We can do assignment submission, or we can add comments. Always, always, always do the right submission. Don't just start typing in this comment box. I know it's more tempting because it's already like open there for you, but that is not going to go through our plagiarism checker correctly. And I've got to a point now, because it's happened so much, that I won't grade your assignment. And if you don't, reach out to me or like respond to my feedback to upload it as a different comment or as a different type of forum, then I'll just not grade it, and it'll be discounted as 0 if it goes into the comments. So this is your warning. And there's warnings everywhere about it, but do not add your work as a comment. That is just like an immediate, like, you didn't do it kind of thing. So you can either write your submission, and the text box will come down right here. And it'll also obviously give you much more, like, you can change your font and your text color and all of that. You can change the size it is, all of those things. So obviously you have a lot more options here going on. And then you can also add your links or anything like that you need to. Preferably though, I would suggest you just doing it as a Word document if you have Word on your computer, and then just uploading it here. It's a lot easier, has the word count there for you. But yeah, that's what I would do. Okay, so let's jump back over here. We've got that's pretty much it, other than lesson 6 and 7 and Ed Puzzle, and then our time and motion assignment. We only have quiz 3. I don't know if it was this class. I don't think it was, but it maybe was somebody in this class who's already had a couple issues with the quiz formats and making sure that you're finishing them on time and not walking away. So just please remember there's like 2 pages of warnings before you start the quiz. Make sure that you are able to sit down for 20 minutes uninterrupted and answer the questions, that you're not having to get up in the middle of it, or if there's, you're in transition of places, it really probably won't even take you 20 minutes to do. But just make sure that when you sit down and you open this quiz, that you have like an uninterrupted 20 minutes to take it. Otherwise it will log you out, obviously. And then obviously I can only allow 1 attempt per quiz. You do not get a second attempt on there. So if there's a mistake, or if there is something that you answered that you didn't mean to answer, but that's how it happened, you can't retake the quiz unless there are like doctor's notes and like outstanding circumstances that would warrant, that would have documentation to accompany them. I'm not going to reopen a quiz. It's a whole long process, and it just, just take the quiz, make sure that you're ready to take the quiz when you take it, and that there's no complications. And then lastly, you can review the quiz. Like I've said before, once you finish it, if you go to like the little OK button, it'll be where my mouse is at, like kind of down here in the corner spot. And you can review your answer choices and make sure that, everything looks right. But that's pretty much it. And I only have one more thing that I want to talk with you guys about real quick. And it is another extra credit opportunity. So this is going on this week, and most of my extra credit opportunities, I, specify what I want you to do in the announcements, but I just want to make sure that it's clear. It's a little bit different than the one that I offered before about the same artist, Portia York, and her Insatiable Fibers exhibit. I'd already posted extra credit opportunity for you to go there and look at her work. But there's an additional thing that you can do on top of that that has to do with this exhibition if you would like to. So this week, there are 2 receptions/events happening on the Dallas campus, the main campus at Gaston. And you can get 20 points each. So if you go to both of these things, then you can get a total of 40 points extra credit added to an assignment. So if you have already missed an assignment or something like that, this would be a great time for you to get some extra credit points. The first one is the crochet circle with Portia York. This is going on tomorrow, actually, on February 7th from 3 to 4 p.m. It's in the same gallery, in the Roush Gallery. So if you already went to see Portia's show, you will go to the same place for the crochet circle. But that's going on from 3 to 4. And then additionally, we are having our first round of the fine arts programs, like the graduating classes exhibitions, and that'll take place in the Bean Gallery on Gaston College, or on the Gaston College campus. And that is on Wednesday from 11:30 to 1 p.m. So that's a little bit longer of a time commitment. I know if you're in high school, that might not be something that is that you're able to do. But if you are able to go to this is great. I know there's a lot of high school students that these extra credit opportunities might be difficult, or at least the first round is a little bit difficult to go see. But I promise I do, offer other opportunities for if you are not able to go in the middle of the day, because I know that's kind of hard. But if you are able to go to one or both of these, you'll get at least 40 points extra credit. So just for going to, a couple hours worth of stuff. Specifically though, if you do go to the one, I'm teaching a class actually during this time, so I'm unfortunately not able to go to Portia's crochet circle, but I will be at the reception for this on Wednesday. So if you do happen to go to this show, come find me. You know what I look like. Hopefully there's like a little screenshot on my faculty information. And come find me and just, introduce yourself, and we'll take a photo together, and then you can just send that to me and I will put that as your extra credit points. So again, 11:30 to 1 in the Bean Gallery for the student show. There's a lot of great work from this group, so I would, love for you to go either way. And you can go, if you can't make it during that time, you can still go to this opportunity as well, but I won't give you quite as many extra credit points just because you're not coming like during the reception time, which that's, an important thing to hear the artist talk and all of that. So we'll still get some extra credit points if you can't come during the reception time. If you just want to come anytime between the 8th and the 23rd of February, you can take a selfie and we can do kind of the same thing as we did last time. But yeah, that's pretty much it for these extra credit opportunities. Again, I offer these like every time there is a new gallery showing that's opening on one of the Dallas campuses, or the Gaston campuses. I will post them here. And so, I mean, it ends up being, there's 3 galleries, I think, on campus, and there's, probably like 4 or 5 shows throughout the semester that will go on with all of them. So, that's like 15 or 18 or something opportunities that you have for extra credit. So, you can take advantage of all of those, or just a couple of those, or, so there's a lot of these. And then also if you you're going somewhere, if you're going to Charlotte, or if you're going to New York or something like that over the course of the semester, if you'll just message me beforehand, like, just a day before, and just say, hey, my, friends and I are going to this art gallery. Can I use that for extra credit? As long as you talk to me about it beforehand, and you let me know in advance that you're going to be doing that, I usually am just like, yeah, like that's totally fine. Just take a selfie of yourself in the gallery and just send it to me like that. But I just need to approve it first. So if you are a high school student who, has a lot of these showings are like, not good for your time, then, think about, look at some other galleries that are local to us, and, maybe make a day trip out of it, and, go to the Mint in Charlotte or something like that, and get yourself some extra credit points. But otherwise, that is all that I've got for you guys this week. So remember the ed puzzles for lesson 6 and 7, the lesson 6 Rafik Anadol's assignment, and I'll make sure that video is visible for you guys. If for some reason you're not able to see it, if it looks weird like it did just then, message me and I will, look into Blackboard support or something to make sure that the video is visible. And then the quiz 3, that's all you need to do for this week. So if you have any questions or anything, please let me know, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your week.